Hello guys and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. In today's video we'll be covering the best wildcard team for game week 31. We'll also be highlighting some players that you should be looking to include in your wildcard, and maybe even if you're not on a wildcard, just some players that you should be looking to include over the next few game weeks. And we're also going to discuss teams that you definitely should be targeting in the next 5 game weeks. I do have a video coming out about this later this weekend, so if you are looking for something a little bit more in detail, then stick around, subscribe, like the video, turn on notifications as well so you will be notified when that video goes out. If you do enjoy today's video, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video, as it does mean the absolute world to me. And in the comments below, let me know what you're doing with your team this week. But without any further ado, let's get into this game week 31 wildcard draft. Starting off in goal, we have gone for David De Gea. Now, David De Gea has been Manchester United's player of the season this year. He's been phenomenal in goal, regained his form, regained his confidence as well. And going into the final kind of 7 to 8 game weeks, we definitely should have a United player, especially over the next few game weeks. And I have gone for David De Gea, simply down to the fact, number one, Ramsdale is potentially out injured. If Ramsdale wasn't out injured, I'd probably lean towards more getting Ramsdale. But at the moment, at the time of recording, he is injured, so I've gone for De Gea. United also double in game week 33 with Norwich. Definite clean sheet potential there, and Liverpool. Now the Liverpool game, it's going to be a big game. Liverpool chasing the title now, United chasing top 4. There's a lot at stake here, so do expect some shocks and surprises to come along with the end of the season, but definitely we're going to be targeting that Norwich game. In game week 31 as well, he plays Leicester at home, so you'd be hoping for a clean sheet potential. Another advantage over different goalkeepers that you could include is Jose Sarr. Now, Wolves have been terrific all season, and Jose Sarr has been a standout performer for them. But Wolves do blank in game week 33. So if you are looking for a goalkeeper who not only plays in game week 33 but doubles, then David De Gea is your man. If Ramsdale's fit, go for him. He also doubles in 33. But at the moment, at the time of recording, he's not. So we're going De Gea. To start off the back line, we are going to look at Conor Coady, Mr. Reliable himself. He's played every single Premier League game for Wolves this season. Wolves have been pretty strong at the back, fairly consistent as well, keeping 11 clean sheets this season. Obviously, that can be excused for game week 30, where they kind of just, it was calamity defending at time, a little bit comedic the way they were defending, but for the price of Conor Coady, I don't think you can ask for too much, to be honest. He's chipping in with the odd goal, but I wouldn't expect that week in, week out. He's a pretty reliable player that you can have in your team. You know what you're going to get from him, and you kind of know what you're going to get from Wolves. They're a challenge as well to get into European football next year, so expect them to keep up the performances. They're not going to have this on-the-beach kind of mentality. Their season isn't over. They've still got stuff to play for. And Conor Coady, at a nice price, he's reliable. He can sit on your bench and you wouldn't mind. He is going to pick up clean sheet points. And for me, that is why he's the first defender in the team. Next to him, we have gone for Liverpool's Andy Robertson. Now, if Trent is fit, go Trent. However, at the moment, Trent isn't fit. Similar story with De Gea. Trent isn't fit. So we've gone for Robbo, but there is good reason to go for Robertson as well, especially if you're looking to improve your rank. Not as many people own Robertson as they do Trent. Trent's effective ownership is, between 80 to 100% most weeks, so you're not really gaining too much in terms of rank, but with Robertson, that's a different story. And over the past 5 game weeks, Robertson has scored 6 more points than Trent as well. So that's something to consider. Maybe worth even doubling up on the Liverpool defence. Watford at home as well in game week 31. It's a really nice fixture to target. However, if Trent is fit, do go for Trent, because his effective ownership will kill your rank if he does anything in any games. He's also got higher expected goal involvement than Andy Robertson as well. So for me, I'd personally go Trent, but just wait and see. Wait till the deadline, find out if he's fit. If not, then Robertson's the perfect replacement and the perfect player you should be looking to include in your backline in your game week 31 wildcard. The next player to line up in our defence is Rudiger. Now for me, Rudiger is arguably one of the most nailed Chelsea defenders, excusing the Norwich game that he missed. But yeah, Chelsea have a fantastic run all the way to the end of the season, and I can see Rudiger playing pretty much majority of games. Obviously, just factor in Champions League. That's kind of probably where they're going to be targeting this season, especially if they can get through the next round. So yeah, they've also got 2 fixtures to be rearranged as well, with Leicester at home and Leeds away to be rearranged, so future doubles are on the cards. However, if you've got the money, or if James is fit, then personally I'd go for Reece James. He does have that potential to kind of have more upside, to get attacking returns, and when Reece James is fit, we can see how deadly he can be. You don't only just get the clean sheet points, you get the goals, you get the assists. He's a fantastic player for Chelsea, and they definitely miss him when he is out injured creatively. But if you are looking for a player who is nailed, who's not really an injury risk, then I can't really see you going wrong with Anthony Rudiger. Good fixtures till the end of the season. 2 fixtures to be arranged as well for Chelsea. Definitely a player you should be considering, even if you're not on a wild card. My final player in the back line is João Cancelo. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking about maybe not even including João Cancelo on the 31 wild cards, or not even including a City defender, and I think this is a big mistake. City are now in a title race. They're going to be playing their strongest team every single week in, week out. They don't want Liverpool to win this title, and João Cancelo is a massive part of Pep's defence and going forward as well. He offers so much creativity going forward. Just think back to the Palace game. He was absolutely incredible there. And he acted as a massive differential for me and my team, picking up 9 points as well, with the free bonus on top of that. Hit the post, so you can see he's definitely creating chances going forward. In terms of bonus as well, he is the second for defenders picking up bonus points this season, only behind Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's also had the most shots out of defenders, with 60 shots this season, which is pretty mind-blowing. 20 of them on target, and he's only scored 1 goal though from them 60 shots, suggesting that his finishing is coming from outside the box. A little bit wayward as well, not hitting the target, but if a defender's putting in 60 shots, surely something has to go at one point, and for me, I could see it happening. City as well do have a nice run to the end of the season. They do have to play Liverpool in game week 32, so that's definitely something to consider if you are looking at maybe a double Liverpool defence or Liverpool and City defenders. That is just something to consider for the next few weeks. But for me, João Cancelo is our last defender in the starting 11, and definitely one you should be looking at bringing in. Moving on to the midfield, we start with the main man himself, Mohamed Salah. How can you not have Salah? I think you're pretty stupid if you don't include Salah, to be honest. His effective ownership every week is plus 100, so if he ever does anything, most weeks you actually lose rank. But if you haven't got him, then you're a pretty brave man. And I think it's pretty stupid if you don't have him, to be honest. Liverpool are in the title race as well. They're going to be going for it. Strongest lineup every single week. You expect Salah to be playing in these big games as well. Watford in 31. Just make sure that he is fit, I'd say. Obviously, he didn't play in the FA Cup game against Nottingham Forest. And there was rumours about, the issue coming back with his injury, so just watch that. I think it might be just Klopp kind of resting his players and making sure they don't go out for international duty, similar to what they did with Trent. But just watch, just be careful, because Mohamed Salah isn't a player who goes off lightly, who sits out games lightly, and definitely won't want to miss the crucial end of Liverpool's season. So just be careful for that. If he is injured, then there's definitely a lot of options you could consider, but for me at the moment, go for Salah. It's an easy pick. Next to him, we have got Bukayo Saka. Now, Saka was absolutely phenomenal against Aston Villa. Definitely should have had more than just his goal, but that's all he got in the end in game week 30. But he's been a fantastic player all season. His ownership as well has gone plus 20%, so he's definitely going to have a really high effective ownership. Arsenal have incredible fixtures as well to the end of the season. They've got a mixed double in 33, however, it is still a double nevertheless, and that's something we should be looking to target. Over the past 5 game weeks as well, he has been the second highest scoring player under 7 million, only beaten to the man to his right, Kulusevski, but we will come on to him in a minute. He is the talisman for this Arsenal side. He is leading from the front. He's a fantastic option to own at an unbelievable 6.7 million price point. Arsenal in this top 4 race as well. They'll be putting their strongest team out every single week to secure European football, and Saka is a vital part of that, who has played absolutely incredible all season, and I expect that to continue. So for that reason, Saka is in the side. Next to Bukayo Saka, we have got Kulusevski. I'm just going to call him Kulu. I can never get his name right. As we mentioned, he is first 4 points for midfielders under 7 million and has absolutely deserved that. He has obliterated the Premier League since he's joined in January and has looked right at home in the Spurs side. Spurs still have one fixture to be arranged as well. You've also got the fact that they do have nice fixtures, but they don't double in 33, so that is something worth to be considered. Spurs are still in the hunt for European football as well. They still could get Champions League. They have the rearranged game against Arsenal as well, which could be huge later on in the season. Kulusevski at 6.3 million as well. I really can't see where you're going to go wrong at a player at that price point. He's definitely someone when Spurs do have a tricky fixture, he's definitely a player that you could bench. But for me, he's been absolutely scintillating. 6.3 million. January signing of the season, you'd have to say. Get him in your team, even if you're not on a wild card. Definitely a player you should be considering because you can free up a lot of budget. For me, I've got Son in my team at the moment, and I'm definitely considering dropping Son down to Kulusevski so I can afford people like Kane and kind of upgrade, maybe get a Chelsea or a Leicester midfielder in my team. But yeah, Kulusevski's the next player in the 31 wild card. Next to him, we have James Maddison off the back of scoring a scintillating free kick for James Maddison. Leicester, they've got a lot of games to rearrange. We know about that. They double in 33, and after that, they've still got another 2 fixtures to be rearranged. They've got a nice fixture run as well to the end of the season. Game week 31, they have got United away, but James Maddison on set pieces, he definitely could create something magical at the Theatre of Dreams, but he is a player who is definitely flair. He's got that about him, and he's a very streaky player. When he is on form, when he is at the races, he 100% performs and gets points, as we saw earlier this season. The only question mark around Leicester players is, do you go Maddison? Do you go Barnes? That is the big question. Maddison does have the higher ownership, so if you are looking to protect your rank, then I'd definitely go Maddison. But the other thing to consider with Leicester is the Europa Conference League that they are in. They're in the quarterfinals now, so they are going to be kind of concentrating towards that, I believe. You know, you'd probably have to say Brandon Rodgers' job is potentially on the line at the end of the season. He's had a falling out with the director of football, and Leicester just haven't looked it this season. And I feel if he wins that and, you know, secures Leicester an 8th or 10th place finish, I'd feel that would probably be, you know, good enough to keep his job. So that's probably a competition they're more prioritising over the next few weeks. It does get them back into the Europa League as well, so more money. So that is what they'll be prioritising. But with Leicester having such nice fixtures, doubling 33 and 2 fixtures to be arranged after that, you're dumb if you're not including a Leicester player on your Game Week 31 wildcard. Moving on to the front line, we start with the man who has been in absolute fire form. It's Harry Kane. Harry Kane, over the past 5 game weeks, he scored 7 goals, 4 assists, and he's just been scintillating for Spurs. But so have Spurs. They take on a Newcastle team who have looked revitalised under Eddie Howe since the end of the January transfer window. But I can see Harry Kane getting goals. He wants to finish the season strong, wants to prove his worth, and maybe put himself in the shop window. Who knows if Spurs can't secure European football. But Harry Kane, he's an easy captain option most weeks as well, with Mohamed Salah playing City in Game Week 32. Definitely one to consider for Game Week 32, Harry Kane captain. Newcastle at home, you could even captain him if you wanted, but he is back to his, what seems to be back to his best. And if you want to swap him for Ronaldo in 33, then that's definitely an option with Manchester United doubling. But Kane, easy pick, one of the first names I had down. I'm gutted I haven't had him in my team for the past few game weeks. I went with Son. That was the error. Get Kane in the team, even if you're not on a wild card for me. He's a player who could definitely end the season well. Next to him, we have got a player who started his Premier League career out very, very strongly, and since then just hasn't been it. No goals in his past 5 games. With this one, we are going fixtures over form. Weghorst hasn't looked at the races. Lowest expected goals out of all the Burnley attackers as well. But he doubles in 31. Obviously, one of the games is City. Ignore that one. But Everton, huge game for Burnley's survival chances. It's a must-win for them. 32, they take on Norwich. And again, absolute huge game. And then it's a nice double in 33 as well. So Weghorst, he's playing 5 games in 3 game weeks. You've got to just have a Burnley player. You know, at 6.5 million as well. He's not too expensive. He is a player that you can, you know, move around. And I don't think there'll be any kind of other forwards at that kind of price point who will outscore him over the next 3 game weeks, just simply down to the fact that he's got so many games. He's surely got to score in one of them. The magnitude of the games as well is definitely something to consider. So for me, get Weghorst in up top, especially if you're on a wild card. Even if you're not on a wild card, 6.5 million is not a bad price. Just get him in. Starting off on our bench, we have gone for Martin Dubravka. Now, I have Dubravka in my team. I've had him since the first Newcastle doubles were announced in 28. And I've been relatively impressed with Newcastle and their defensive stability over the past few game weeks. You know, they haven't been keeping the clean sheets, but they have looked a lot better at the back. And Martin Dubravka is probably the best 4.5 million goalkeeper out there. I don't think you can really go wrong with him. Doubles in 33 as well. So if you are looking maybe to play Dubravka over De Gea, I don't know why you do that, but there is an option there. Maybe you want a bench boost in 33. Here's a goalkeeper who does double in 33. He's nice and cheap. Starts every game. You can't go wrong with Dubravka. First player on my bench is a little bit of a controversial one, and a player who I was and ahhing. I definitely think there are a lot of other options out there. So I've gone for Anthony Elanga. He is a little bit of a rotation risk, but with United having nice fixtures up until 33 and then them doubling in 33, I want to try and get as many doublers in as I possibly can with this wild card. And Elanga is a player who definitely could explode onto the scenes and really help United kind of push in this top 4 race. However, there are a lot of other good options around this price point, and I definitely consider maybe Martinelli, Odegaard with Arsenal doubling in 33. If you even want to upgrade that, then obviously Saka or Kulusevski are options, but on the bench, we've gone for Elanga. You could even, after 33, switch him to Elise, with Crystal Palace's fixtures turning really nice to the end of the season after that point. So yeah, Elanga, a little bit of kind of one of them where it's an open interpretation kind of. Each team can kind of pick whoever they want. You know, I'm not saying he's the best option. I'm not saying he's the worst option. He's just a consideration. Next to him, I've gone for arguably one of the most informed strikers within the game at the moment, and that is Cucho Hernandez. Dirt cheap at only 5 million. 3 goals, 1 assist in his past 5 games. And boys, you know, they're trying to stay up, bless them. They're trying their hardest. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But Cucho Hernandez is, you know, giving it all he's got, and he's very much a flair player. You look at some of the goals that he scored, 2 overhead kicks this season as well. He's definitely a player who overperforms his XG, but he does it in a way that it's kind of rewarding to watch when he does score a miraculous goal. 5 million as well. I don't think you could really go wrong for a player who's started a lot of games, is a little bit of a rotation risk, but for 5 million, I don't think you're too bothered, because forwards this season have been pretty poor throughout the year. At 5 million, you know, you can't really go wrong at that price. People are saying he's a trap, but at 5 million, I just can't really see it, to be honest. You can just stick him on the bench for sub if he stops playing, but yeah, why not? He's worth a risk. Go for it. And the final player in our back line is Mitchell. Now, I included Mitchell simply down to the fact that I saw he got an England call-up, checked out his statistics, checked out Palace's fixture run, And wow, the Palace fixture run after game week 33 is lovely. Absolutely beautiful. Palace have nice fixtures all the way to the end. They've still got an Everton game to be rearranged, so you probably think they'll go in 36, depending when Everton need to play that game. But something I noticed, he has played 90 minutes in every single Premier League game. It's an unbelievable statistic. There's only a handful of players who've done that this season. So for a player at 4.5 million, nice fixtures coming up. Nice little bench option, especially if you're going to bench boost. You want players who are going to be playing week in, week out. Have nice fixtures coming up. I definitely think Mitchell's an option that you could go for. Obviously, there are other options. Livermento with Southampton doubling in 33. But for me, Tyreek Mitchell, he does the job. My girlfriend's had him in all year. He's been pretty solid for her. Every time he gets a clean sheet, though, he is on her bench. But yeah, Tyreek Mitchell, the last player that I've included in this wildcard. Let me know what you think of this wildcard team down in the comments below. I'm interested to hear your guys' opinions, your guys' thoughts, who you'd bring in, who you'd change. If you have enjoyed today's video, then please do subscribe. Please do like. It honestly means the absolute world to me. Spent a lot of time, a lot of effort into this video. So every single view means the world to me. Every single like, massively appreciated. So yeah, if you have enjoyed today's video, smash the like button. And please do subscribe to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. We are trying to grow out here. So please help a brother out. Subscribe and enjoy the rest of your day.